Don't you just love taking things apart? It's like, it's almost like a part of breakfast. You know, just destroy, eat, sleep, and sledgehammer. Alright guys, back with you again, once again for another update on the Volvo here. So, we're going to be doing week 5 this week. It's already Tuesday, so it's probably going to be another 2-week episode. Like last time, did that one about 27 minutes, was about how it ended up being. So it's going to be week 5 and 6 most likely. We'll know by the end of it. But so far, we're working with, we got the air ride plumbed up right there. We're going to start running those in, running them into here, figuring out where everything's going to be going right there. And then I started working on the engine bay here. So we got the pipe here. I took the old stock pipe off and I went ahead and wrapped this heat wrap around it. That's going to go into here. Like that, and chuck it in there. We're gonna get that right there. That's gonna get our rip kit in, and what that rip kit does is that actually takes the intake from down there and running it basically where the hot air goes down and puts hot air into the engine. Hot air is gonna go from the turbo up through the intercooler into the engine, so now you get colder air, better responsive. You go from like the flex pipes and everything into the actual metal pipes, so it's a little better pressurized there. So do that, get these wires all tucked up in there, and hopefully we should be, don't quote me, should be maybe driving it. Don't hold me to it, but we might be driving, maybe. Alright, back at it again. It's a fresh morning because I wrapped that last night and then realized that that's kind of like fiberglass, like, you know, like you do like roofing stuff like that. So I had fiberglass all on my hands and stuff, so I went ahead and called it for a night there. My hands are still a little itchy. Probably should use gloves when I do that one. Noted. Now I know. That's how we figure things out. So that's basically like insulation. Don't touch it with your hands. Put some long sleeves on. I had it all over my shirt and everything. My shirt was sparkly. My arms are sparkly, they all itched. And learned a lesson. You are mean. Bean. Alright, I got the mud flaps put back on. And then up here, I got all the wires zip tied. I took the fender well out so that way it could actually sit in there. I'm going to eventually take all this off and I'm going to sand it on the inside there and get some rubberized undercoating on there. Make it look a lot better. I don't think that's how you're supposed to get it out, but it's out of there. Alright, if you can see on the time lapse, we got a pretty good bit of stuff here. Good thing is, we took the timing cover off. Belt's still good, so that means we didn't have valves eating pistons for snacks, so that's good. Took all the spark plugs out, and this one had a bunch of oil on it, but not too worried about that. Everything else seems to be coming off. We're going to take the intake off and try to get that oil sensor so we can go ahead and put it on the new car. Once we get all that done, we'll be right back. know if you guys seen that, but I was trying to get this thing out with a sledgehammer, but it's like trying to get this power steering pump off, but it's like I gotta get down there to get it, and this part of the frame is all bent in, so I'm trying to cut it with a sawzall, and that wasn't really working. Started going with a grinder. The grinder worked really good, but I just took this fuel line off, and I thought it wouldn't be a good idea to grind and shoot sparks all over the engine bay when there's gas everywhere. So thought that wouldn't be a good idea, so I stopped that, and then started hitting this with a sledgehammer, and that didn't really work. It just made me tired. So we're gonna come back when I figure something out. What? Is there something missing? Wait, who took my bumper? Well, I mean, you know, in hindsight, the timing belt's still good. I mean, the alternator's kind of cracked, and the serpentine belt's kind of messed up, and there's a lot more stuff broken, but the timing belt's still good. Alright, today's distraction was brought to you by this oil pressure sensor, because I did all that so that way I could get the free space in here to get to this, and I was like, well, I'm at it, I might as well go ahead and take some other stuff off. But yeah, because this is the aftermarket one to our gauge pod, and then this is the stock one, so I needed that, so that way I could have the wire to go to that thing. So now we're going to have to basically do this, not all of this, but take the intake off and everything to get down to there, put that new pressure sensor on that one, and while I'm at it, might as well take the good stuff off of this one, so like the plug wires and the new spark plugs. Those things are $112. That's more than insurance is going to give me. We're going to take that. We're going to take these good pulleys over here and the aftermarket stuff, all the goodies like this, all those goodies. We're going to take it from this engine, move to that engine, and while we're at it, we might as well paint it like I did this one. So this one was all nice and blue. So I'm thinking with this one, I'm going to go with a blue, like a dark blue and a orange kind of theme. Kind of how it's already got going. So I'm going to make this like a bright silver like the other one. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do exactly, but definitely want to take this, make it, I got the paint match color now, so I'm going to take that, paint match it, take these screws, I'm going to take all those screws out, and we'll replace them with the nice black ones. While we're at it, change these plug wires, put in this right here. We got that paint matched blue already and that silver. We're going to take that blue and we're going to make like the letters raised, kind of like I have on the other one over here. And then got that down, so like this one. So it's going to be orange with dark blue instead of bronze with light blue. So if you guys haven't figured out by now, the way I pretty much work on everything is I'll start working on one thing and then I'll go to the other thing, do another thing, and then I start working on that thing. And now you see why it's been a good few months and it takes me forever to get anything done. But got all these pieces out, so now my next current objective is I was working on that, but now I'm working on the engine bay because I want to get the wiring in. So I guess I'm going to start taking this apart, and while I'm taking this apart, it's nice out and it's not cold for once, so I'm probably going to paint all this, make it look all nice and neat while I'm out there. So I'm trying to think of a paint scheme. I'm thinking doing this the same orange as this, and then I'm going to do the top blue right there like I said before. But I'm trying to think of how I want everything. So with most likely we'll switch over to a time lapse of me painting, but if not, we'll see what happens, see what we work on today. Alright, and just like that, we got this one took apart here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean around in here, get that oil pressure sensor going, And then I'm gonna figure out what I want to do paint wise. I'm gonna switch these spark plugs out, switch these plug wires out, and then just go ahead and start moving in all the stuff from the old car onto this car, and we'll see what we get going. Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait. Where'd all those parts go? What are you guys doing out here? You're supposed to be in there. Get back in there. Alright, so I got the splash cover painted orange, and then I painted it with a pipe cleaner. That's all I had. I painted the letters, so if you look from here it's fine, but if you get real close you can kind of see like it's a little off, but not too bad. And then I started on the engine over there. Over here, got this all covered up. I got the block painted down there silver, and then I got the top of it. I'm going to paint that blue. And then hopefully, once I get everything looking good, it'll be nice. I'm not too worried about this. I'm going to change that out. I'm going to change all of these out. And all the other parts that I'm going to be changing out a lot of these parts anyway, so I'm not worried about getting paint on those parts. So, got plastic covering the parts I do care about. And then, it'll look like something, hopefully. That's pretty much what I did over here on this one. So, I painted that same silver. And then I painted the actual cover blue. And then I had the top bronze, but instead this time I'm going to go darker blue, orange, light blue. Whereas last time I had that blue and had the bronze there and had the lighter blue. Alrighty, so yeah, I ended up taking that off to get it painted. The paint, it came out too strong and I couldn't get a good angle on it, so I'm going to just go ahead and do the whole thing down here and then put it back on there. I'll show you what it looks like when we're done. Alright, well, this is where I'm going to stop for the night. It's getting a little late out. But I'm at that point where it's like, I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of other things. I'm going to have to get these power steering lines before I can put the intake in. Before I can put this in, I got to put that on to get the intake on. But if I want to put the intake on, I got to take that off, So it's like, before I start a whole nother process of taking these power steering lines off and running all the lines in here. Now we got that done, so we can go ahead and start getting those done and getting them off the old one over there, getting those all done, and then we can start putting everything back in. But I mean, it's looking snazzy. Alright, if there's not a lot in this video, it's because I've been fighting these things for like 3 hours. So I think I finally about got them out. So this is the high pressure one, and that's the return. There was a bracket behind here that was holding them together, and then there's another bracket over here. So what I ended up having to do is I took this out so I could slide it, and then I unbolted the subframe so that way I could slide this back and go right there and get up into there to get those bolts out right there. I had to get that one to like a pawl, like this, and then the other one I had to get with like a little stubby 19. But I finally got them out. It took me like it took me like 3 days of contemplating and like 3 hours of actual like going back and forth. But now I got them off, but I've been spending like the last like hour and a half trying to get them out. So, and then I realized that I had these brackets on there, so I got those brackets off, and now I've just been kind of debating on whether or not I want to get back in there, because I got to do the same thing again on that one. I got to do it all again. So, wish me luck. The engine is down. Evan, what we got going on down here?
Yeah. No, so realistically though, what I'm saying is I think we should have done what I said. Ouch! Is try to get these lower control arms off.
Yeah.
Because they're pulling this down.
But we're trying to do all
Which
this.
in turn is pulling the.
Trying to get this
down.
power steering line, but stuck on the steering rack up there.
Because now these are bound up, and that side's down. Because what I didn't think of when I formulated this plan, there goes my glasses, is the exhaust pulled the rack down. So it's a bit of an oversight on my side.
Well, we're getting there. Slowly but sure. We'll figure it out. Oh my God! They finally came out.
My fat ass is stuck under the car.
You're stuck under the car.
A little dirty.
Now we gotta do it again. Don't say that. So, anyways, they're off. Wasn't too bad. I mean, there's only a little rusted. All right, I feel like I'm being gassed a little bit here, but so we got tie rod in, ball joint. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and call that here for this week. So I feel like I got a pretty good bit done. So we got the engine on the car actually dropped off over here. So we got that dropped off all the way down there. Got the engine off. Basically, it's down on the subframe right now. So we're just gonna be yanking all the good parts out of it. Went through here, got all the wiring. We're gonna start salvaging all this good stuff, like little loot goblins that we are. And then we got the tie rod ends here. We're gonna actually have to swap those over from the silver car to this one because they were not playing nicely, and they actually ended up being rust welded on there, so we had to cut them, which actually apparently caused a lot of controversy because people were saying that I was wrong about the ball joint thing. You guys let me know down in the comments what you guys think, but figure, you know, it's tie rod in, and then the actual thing that I cut was the ball joint. I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but I think I'm right. Let me know. So we're going to just keep doing all this, and I might finish it off with a cleaning montage while I clean up the mess because I've made kind of a mess. It's not terrible, but definitely up here is pretty messy. So we'll just clean all that up, and then I'll let you guys come back in for week 6. Stay tuned.